All right, guys, we're going to rock and roll here on the I Love CVille show, the Tuesday edition. This is Election Day, Judah.
Sure is.
Election Day. We're going to talk storylines and trends. Any upsets? We're going to see any upsets today, J-Dubs?
I don't think there are going to be a whole lot of surprises.
I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of surprises either. It's more fun when there's surprises and storylines.
No
If
doubt.
there was a surprise, what would the surprise be? And remember, you got a city school board race, too.
Yeah.
So the surprise in that race is whether Bryant can beat an incumbent. Or maybe I better say, the surprise in that race is, can the incumbents hold their seats and keep Bryant off the school board?
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that. Scott Smith, Fred Missel, surprise or no surprise?
I'm not expecting a surprise.
I'm not expecting a surprise either. Your boy Dylan Beck or Leah Puryear, surprise or no surprise?
I'd love to say there's a surprise there, but we'll have to wait and see.
Okay, well, that's your friend. You clearly gave an answer based on Dylan Beck being your friend and your homie from church right there.
Yeah.
Dylan Beck or Puryear? Who's going to win that race?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Jim Dylan Beck takes it.
Yours hilarious. I respect that. He's loyal to his his friend. I respect that. The elder at his church. Is an elder at your church akin to being a church deacon?
Probably.
Is that what that is? Elder at church? Is elder at church deacon? Like and share the show, viewers and listeners. Like and share the show. We're going to have a lot of fun today on the Tuesday Election Day special, the I Love CVille show. 303 Alderman Road is pending, Judah. Surprise?
Yeah, a little bit. What was the final?
Over 900K.
Wow.
Home completely stripped. Fantastic location. Lewis Mountain is certainly Tony and close to everything. This was the site of the old brownstones, where the brownstones were going to be built by Evergreen. Congratulations to Evergreen on 303 Alderman Road going under contract. A lot we're going to talk on the show. Like and share. We're going to rock and roll here on what is the Election Day special of the I Love CVille program. If you're watching on Facebook, hammer that like button for us. We work hard for you. The only thing we ask in return is that you help us spread the gospel. We live on LinkedIn, J-Dubs?
I'm seeing that we are.
Fantastic, Judah. Well, you're doing a great job today. Doing a great job. Ginny Who, thank you for the retweet. Love you, Ginny. Love you, Ginny. All right, J-Dubs. We are live on LinkedIn. Fantastic. I'll confirm YouTube, and then we can rock and roll when you're ready. Judah Wickar, we are live on Twitter, which is fantastic. I got a busy day today. Sorry. You're right. Leslie Pryor, not Leah Puryear. You're right, Jim Hingley. I apologize. I often get those two confused. Leslie Pryor. Thank you, Jim. Salud. Cheers. Prost, Nostrovia, amigo. Thank you. All right, let's rock and roll when you're ready. Leslie Pryor. Goodness gracious, Jerry. I'm disappointed in myself, Jim. I'm disappointed in myself. Leah Puryear ran for city council. Leah Puryear was replaced Sina McGill. Did she not, Jim Hingley? She replaced Sina McGill when Sina McGill surprisingly resigned from city council. That's why I have Leah Puryear in my mind. All right, let's rock and roll when you're ready, J-Dubs. Quiet on the set. Welcome to the I Love CVille show, guys. My name is Jerry Miller. Thank you kindly for joining us on a Tuesday in downtown Charlottesville. It's Election Day. This is literally one of my favorite days of the year. I'll tell you, a short list for my most favorite days of the year, just off the top of my head in no particular order. The opening weekend for March Madness, the college basketball tournament, that's probably my all-time favorite. Followed very closely by the ACC basketball tournament. You, of course, have got to include the Super Bowl in there. That's a big time outing for sports fans that are out there. I love, ladies and gentlemen, obviously Christmas, especially with two young sons. Christmas is special. Thanksgiving is special. But Election Day is on that short list for yours truly of those 8 or 9 most favorite days of the year. Now, this particular Election Day, at least for me, doesn't have the same pizzazz, Judah likes to say, je ne sais quoi, as other election days, because we don't have a ton of contested elections. Sally Duncan in the Jack Jewett District, no competition. Ned Galloway, Ned's a friend. Love you, Ned Galloway. You watch the program, Supervisor Galloway. This is the 3rd straight time Ned Galloway in the Rio District will run unopposed, Judah. The 3rd straight time for Supervisor Galloway. The only contested election in Albemarle County and its Board of Supervisors race is Scott Smith, who's a bit of a newbie to Albemarle County, moved here right around COVID, and Fred Missel, the UVA Foundation employee who's been in here, who's lived in Albemarle County for an eternity. That's my district, the Samuel Miller district, so I'm going to be watching closely. I do expect viewers and listeners, at least my political crystal ball is suggesting, and I think I have a wand here. Bill McChesney, no, the great Giardini is not returning. What was your name, Judah?
I don't think it's worth.
Oh, come on. What was your name, Judah? What was your name?
The
Bubini?
Oh, yeah. That's
Neither Giardini or Bubini are returning. But we'll do some crystal ball predictions. And my prediction is Missile wins by double digits. We'll talk about that on the program today. We're going to talk that Route 29 Holiday Inn apartment conversion, Judah. 191 apartments, Judah. Make sure you have a little who, what, when, where, why up there. 191 apartments right smack dab in the middle of the cock block. Smack dab in the middle of the chicken strip. 191 apartments right next to Fried Chicken Alley. 191 apartments, Judah, next to Raising Cane's that legitimately needs a security guard to direct traffic because the Raising Cane sauce is that good. We'll talk a Holiday Inn apartment conversion on today's program. Also on the show, viewers and listeners, we are going to talk Glenn Youngkin giving the University of Virginia and the Department of Justice some praise, some props for an agreement that was reached. Youngkin is on his way out. And right now, Youngkin does not give a duck. Quack, quack, quack. He does not give a duck, quack, quack, quack at all. And he's straight up praising Trump and the University of Virginia and this DOJ on this agreement that has been reached that is infuriating Virginia Democrats. We're going to talk 303 Alderman Road, ladies and gentlemen. That brick rancher that was purchased about a year ago is now under contract. Evergreen Builders and Evergreen Development are literally on the cusp of shedding from their holdings 303 Alderman Road, which went under contract, fairly quickly. I mean, you're basically just over 30 days that this went under contract. A $949,000 asking price. I'm not saying it's trading at full ask. Only time will tell. I think this will close in calendar year 2025. So it will count to this year's sales data. Evergreen purchased this in June of last year for $835,000, and they wanted to build 6 luxury brownstones, much to the outcry of the Tony Lewis Mountain neighborhood that worked quickly against Evergreen and pulled covenants and restrictions, not from yesteryear, not from years past, but from generations ago, and utilized them as leverage against the developer and the home builder. We're going to talk on today's program about Ryan Odom. He got his first victory last night. The Who's are 1-0. They dominated Ryder. Ryan Odom not only got his first victory, but his son entered in the game late in the contest and scored a bucket as well. And goodness gracious, what a way for Virginia to start the Ryan Odom era by showing a completely different style of basketball, an up-tempo, fast break, aggressive baseline-to-baseline style of play that really had a lot of us watching either at the John Paul Jones Arena or at home on television, just in awe and excited. And speaking of exciting, how about the St. Anne's Belfield Academy product, Chance Mallory? Chance Mallory, I'm going to say it right now, my favorite player on the roster, Chance Mallory. Chance Mallory is 5'8" on a good day. He's a first year. He is lightning quick. He plays balls to the wall hard. He has an undoubtedly, contagious zest for life. He comes in the ball game, plays 24 minutes. He's hitting the defensive glass, the offensive glass. He had 3 pickpockets, back-to-back three-pointers for Chance Mallory, and clearly has become a crowd favorite at Wahoo Nation, and he's played only 1 game. It's just a matter of time till Chance Mallory enters the starting lineup. So much to cover on the broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, including Vision Barbecue openly admitting they're struggling with the rising cost of beef. Yes, beef. Wake Forest at UVA on Saturday night. UVA is a 6.5-point favorite. The game's on national television. So much on the broadcast. We can't wait to talk about it today on Election Day. We'll give Conan Owen some love. Locally owned and operated, Sir Speedy of Central Virginia are stars in the small business community. Conan Owens, Sir Speedy of Central Virginia. They handle our printing needs, our signage needs. Conan Owen, Sir Speedy of Central Virginia. He's a Darden graduate. And ladies and gentlemen, he can help make your logo just have fantastic applications. He'll help scale your logo. He help create, enhanced visibility for your signage and your branding needs. Sir Speedy of Central Virginia. Alex Boucher, welcome to the broadcast. Neil Williamson, welcome to the broadcast. Michael Ivey, welcome to the broadcast. Viewers and listeners of all shapes and sizes, thank you for joining us on the show. Jason Noble says he's not optimistic for Election Day. Jason Noble, Republican and a conservative. I think I could say that, right, Jason Noble? Judah Wickower, studio camera. Let's showcase our fantastic studio. You're looking at probably, 75 to 80,000 in technology right here. And then our human capital, the director and producer of the show. I mean, look at this guy. He's got GQ looks. He's got the fashion sense of someone out of Vogue magazine. He's chiseled. He's got the Midas touch. He's freshly manicured. And boy, oh boy, ladies, he's single and he's ready to mingle. And his name is Judah Wickower. It's Election Day, Judah. Should conservatives and Republicans be cautiously optimistic? Should they be prepared to be disappointed? Is this going to be a landslide Election Day where Democrats are going to win across the board? You got top of the ticket all the way down to Albemarle County School Board and Charlottesville City School Board, where you can pontificate about. Judah Wickower, the show is yours.
I really don't think we're going to see a whole lot of surprises. Our area has never gone big for Republicans.
They go to the top of the ticket.
Even
Gosh,
anyone
he really knows how to sell a show, doesn't he?
Even anyone, even smacking of the slightest bit of being a Republican. It doesn't matter what the race is. It doesn't matter what the seat is. If someone even looks a little bit like a Republican, chances are they're getting run out of town.
Okay, I'm going to cut straight to the chase. The yin to Judah's yang over here. The top of the ticket. Spamberger beats Winsome Earl Sears by 8 points. If I put the over-under at 7, if I put the over-under at 7.5, I'd take the over on that. Spamberger beats up Winsome Earl Sears. And the best thing about the end of today is you, the viewer and listener, Judah and I, and my children, my wife and I's boys, do not have to hear another Abigail Spamberger, Winsome Earl Sears ad again. My least favorite of all the ads this political cycle is Abigail Spamberger's funded ad where she has Winsome Earl Sears going, I'm talking, I'm talking, I'm talking. You know the ad I'm talking about, right?
I think so,
She takes a clip from Winsome Earl Sears where she's trying to control a room and is clearly being interrupted, and Spamberger uses that to her advantage by making Winsome Earl Sears look like a raving lunatic. Okay, it's mudslinging at its finest right now. The top of the ticket, I don't see any surprises happening. Yeah. The only surprise that could have happened was the momentum the Democrats were building thanks to the disenchantment of Donald Trump in office and what he's done to Northern Virginia, the political landscape across the Commonwealth. At the Attorney General race, there was some talk that Jay Jones could beat the incumbent Jason Miyares, and then we saw the skeletons in Jay Jones's closet rear their hideous, hideous heads. If Jay Jones beats Jason Miyares for the Attorney General race, Virginians are genuinely electing someone who wants to kill police officers, wants across-the-aisle opponents murdered, and wants to see the cross-aisle opponents murdered have their kids die in their mother's arms. He put this in text messages. This is an insane, raving, unstable lunatic in Jay Jones. You elect that guy, and it's going to humiliate the Commonwealth across the board. Spanberger wins by 7 points or more, check. Jason Miyares takes Jay Jones, and we hopefully never have to hear Jay Jones' name again. Check. The lieutenant governor race, does John Reed stand a chance?
I think he does. You don't think he does?
John Reed, we're going to give John Reed a fighter's chance in this. All right, Judah Wickower says that he has a fighter's chance in this, despite this extortion, despite very little political experience outside of being a Richmond radio talk show host. Judah Wickower says Jay Jones has a chance, or John Reed has a chance. Time will tell. Regardless, this is a wonderful day. And it's a wonderful day because we're exercising our right for democracy.
Yep.
This is a day, even in landslide elections, even when victory seems apparent and in lopsided capacity, we still go out and vote. My wife and I took our two boys to the voting booth today in Ivy at Ivy Elementary School. We wanted some Krispy Kreme donuts. At least our two sons did. We didn't get the Krispy Kreme donuts.
Oh.
You know what, honey? We didn't even get a photo with you and I and the boys. Goodness gracious, we missed a memory. Regardless, we exercised our right to vote. Now, let's go from the top of the ticket all the way down. Locally, delegate races. Christina Carlson, is she running unopposed? Amy Laufer, is she running unopposed?
Yep.
These delegate races, really meaningless in Albemarle County and Charlottesville because there's no competition. If we want some competition to chitter-chatter about, and it is a talk show, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go to the Samuel Miller District, my district, and see Scott Smith, a newcomer to Albemarle County, challenge Fred Missel, a stakeholder and longtime Albemarle Countyan. Judah Wickower, can Scott Smith beat Fred Missel? Albemarle County Board of Supervisors.
I don't think it's possible. I think it's just you can't run as a Republican in Charlottesville or Albemarle County and expect to make a lot of ground.
The biggest mistake Scott Smith made was the mistake he made on day one of his campaign when he ran as a Republican. Scott Smith, if you wanted to win this race or have a fighter's chance at winning this race, you do it as an independent.
Yeah.
Once you put the R next to your name,
Sad but
or
true.
you associated yourself with being an R, you had no chance of winning. Sad but true. Okay? Furthermore, Scott Smith, I respect what you're about. I appreciate the effort you're doing, especially someone new to Albemarle County. You did not go balls to the wall with aggressive politics on attacking Missel and his employer. You just did not do it. And as a result, Fred Missel, over-under is 10 points. Does Missel beat Smith by more than 10 points or less than 10 points? Judah Wickower, what do you got?
I think more than 10 points.
I'm with you. More than 10 points as well. Slam dunk race. I think the only true storyline in this election cycle, the only storyline to follow in this election cycle for Charlottesvillians and Albemarle Countyans is on the Charlottesville School Board. And the question is this for the viewers and listeners. Does the most notorious activist, the most significant activist, the most noteworthy, or what's the opposite of noteworthy? Notorious, I would say?
Yeah, notorious.
Okay, depending on how you view her, either the most noteworthy activist or the most notorious activist, Ziana Bryant. Does she win a spot on the Charlottesville School Board? That's the storyline to follow this election cycle. And Judah Wickower, I'm going to ask you, does Bryant get a victory? Does she push out one of the incumbents that's running for their 3 seats or pursuing another term within their 3 seats? I don't think Deshad Cooper's going to get a spot on the school board. At that point, Cooper's lost what? A city council race? He's lost a school board race. Might be time to hang up the spurs and put the saddle in the back of the barn, Mr. Cooper. Ziana Bryant, does she win a spot on Charlottesville City School Board?
I think she probably will.
I agree.
I think she's got the clout to get enough people just to come in and vote for her. Whether or not they were going to vote for anything else, I think she can pull in a lot of people.
I think Ziana Bryant is your next Charlottesville School Board member. And I think when Ziana Bryant is elected to the Charlottesville School Board, you're going to see a further divide of the wealthy and the marginalized student within public schools. When Ziana Bryant is elected to the school board, you will see resourced students from wealthy families, further jettison from public schools. They will jettison Charlottesville public schools for homeschools and private schools because eventually their parents are going to be like, wait a second, the woman who tarred and feathered Morgan Benninger is now dictating the pace, tempo, and future of my kids' public school education and how taxpayer dollars are spent? What is going on here?
They're also going to say that the school board is just getting further and further, going further and further to the left.
And is it, Judah? Is that true?
I would tend to think so.
I would tend to think so as well, my friend. Vanessa Parkhill is watching the program. Her photo on screen. Vanessa, the Queen of Earlysville, says this: I just heard on the radio that Albemarle County was 60-40 Republican about 25 years ago. That sounds about right because the county definitely leaned red when I moved to Virginia in 1990. Now it's gone from purple back to blue. And I'm going to straight up call out the Albemarle County Republicans. The Albemarle County Republican Party. And Nancy Muir is the interim chair right now after the unexpected resignation of John Lowry. If Nancy Muir and the Albemarle County Republicans do not figure out a way to youngify their party, Albemarle County is not only going to transition from purple to blue, it's going to be like, where do you transition from blue? It could go from purple to blue. What's further blue? What's the leftist of blue? Chapel Hill blue? Carolina blue?
UNC blue.
Is that the leftist? That's where Albemarle County's heading. UNC Tar Heel blue, ladies and gentlemen. Albert Graves watching the program. His photo on screen. He's watching in Crozet most certainly. Why wouldn't Ziana Bryant get a victory? The Dumbocrats want to elect a governor who allows boys and girls bathrooms and its top law dog fantasies about killing his opponents and his children. Why wouldn't they elect Bryant? I would imagine that's some sarcasm over there by Warrior AG. Albert Graves.
Maybe a little bit facetious.
A little facetious right there from Albemarle Graves, who's a big-time Commanders fan. I don't know about you, Albert Graves, but I got serious beef with Coach Quinn, leaving Jaden Daniels, our face of the franchise, in that game against Seattle to watch him dislocate his left elbow and most certainly be out the rest of the season. Randy O'Neill says Albemarle County's got blue balls. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Conan Owen says indigo. Roy G. Biv. For us to figure out what shade of blue Albemarle County is becoming. Let's give some love to Charlottesville Sanitary Supply, 61 consecutive years in business. The Vermillion family has a fantastic online ordering platform, charlottesvillesanitarysupply.com. They offer same-day delivery for your sanitary needs, and the delivery is free. Charlottesville Sanitary Supply, located on East High Street and online at charlottesvillesanitarysupply.com. The Vermillions are 5 generations strong in Albemarle County, and their family business, ladies and gentlemen, is 3 generations of family strong. The Vermillions are good people. Deep Throats photo on screen. Ziana Bryant will get elected, he says. All you need to know about Charlottesville is Ziana Bryant winning a spot on the school board. He says it's Jokertown. Thank heavens I have the money for private school. Deep Throat's words. He also says, though I guess we could hold out hope that the other members just roll their eyes at her and in 4 years she runs for the next office and gets shellacked, I hope. I'm going to tell you right now, Ziana Bryant is platforming the school board to the next level of politics, and probably she has an eye on a delegate seat, Ziana Bryant. Okay, because right now your Charlottesville is going to elect somebody in their early to mid 20s who has no children, who is solely running on a platform that I went to school within the Charlottesville public school system, and that's why you should trust me with hundreds of millions of dollars of taxpayer dollars. and negotiations with unions, SROs, metal detectors, and every other political landmine and political bomb that's tied to public schools in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Well, when you put it that way.
Isn't that the reality? That is the reality right there. Ginny Who's photo on screen. Ginny Who, Ginny Who, Ginny Who. There was actually a GOP table at my polling station this time, and they often do not bother. That being said, the ladies at that table were not speaking unless spoken to, while the Democrat volunteers were actively engaging in conversation. I saw the same thing at Ivy Elementary. Literally the same thing, Ginny Who, the exact same dynamic playing out. Kevin Yancey watching the program, the mayor of Waynesboro. I'm not sure what this comment is referring to, Kevin Yancey. Neil Williamson's watching the program. For what it's worth, each of Albemarle County's magisterial districts have more development area voters than rural. How does Albemarle County's aging demographic impact the voting trends? Development area voters in rural. How does Albemarle County's aging demographic impact the voting trends? Albemarle County's aging demographic and age would often suggest center aisle ideology and perhaps conservative ideology because of a need to preserve wealth into retirement. And conservatives and Republicans are often platforming less tax exposure, where Democrats are much quicker to spend your dollars and Judah's dollars and my dollars. But Neil, I would say the aging demographic in Albemarle County is so skewed to a higher education ideology, a UVA ideology, so skewed to Charlottesville's ideology, and frankly, so skewed to because of obscene wealth, that its ideology is one of a very liberal perspective and voting tendency. Mm-hmm. You're not going to see Albemarle County's ideology change anytime soon, and that includes, much to Neil's disappointment, the expansion of the development area. One thing that the voter base in Albemarle County is pounding its chest about is keeping development in check. And you know, housing affordability activists are not going to want to hear that. But that's the political tea leaves in Albemarle right now. And as Albemarle goes, is how Central Virginia goes. Jason Noble says the Albemarle County Republican Party, you're right, is so old. Albemarle County Republican Party is I hope they hear this. And I've been in these rooms before, and Nancy Muir is not going to like what I'm saying right now. I think the Albemarle County Republican Party has actually taken one or two steps back since Glenn Youngkin and Donald Trump shocked the Commonwealth. Yeah. When there was momentum with Youngkin topping McAuliffe, and that momentum led to a Donald Trump beating a sleepy Joe Biden, and that momentum has been not just extinguished, but it's been urinated upon, utterly urinated upon.
I don't think they even knew it was there.
I think they knew what it was. I think they absolutely knew it was there, but they did not know what to do with it. Jim Hingley watching the program, his photo on screen. If Ziana Bryant wins and Deshad Cooper loses, as you predict, both incumbents will win and Bryant won't push out an incumbent.
Right.
Deep Throat watching the program, he's got comments coming in. I don't know about old equals conservative anymore. You look at the No Kings protests, peak boomer cringe. Lots of white hair. Lots of white hair. Oh, goodness gracious. And Ginny Who says the same. I don't think that holds true anymore. It's the boomers supporting those No Kings rallies. Literally, Ginny Who is saying the same with Deep Throat. Okay, I'll stand corrected. And I have seen the B-roll footage of the No Kings protest. It's a lot of boomers there.
Yeah, I think that's generally the case. I think you're right, but in this area, it just doesn't hold true anymore. And in the surrounding area.
Okay, then how about we ask ourselves this question? Here's a question for you, the viewer and listener. What are the characteristics of the 2026? Because we're at the end of 2025. What are the characteristics of the 2026 Republican Party? Is the 2026 Republican Party the Charlie Kirk advocates and evangelists and followers? What is the 2026 Republican Party?
I think some of the old standards are falling by the wayside this election.
What does that mean?
That means that the older age set is no longer consistently moving towards the middle. We're increasingly, split, and that split is not, like a minor, quibble over a couple things in the center aisle. It's, 180-degree differences in opinion, where, you see boomers out at No King's Day.
Neil Williamson, watching the program, I get what you're laying down, Judah. He says urbanization is a better measurement than age. For example, the New York mayoral election. Vanessa says it's not just the Albemarle County Republican Party who has taken a step back, but the entire statewide Republican Party, 100%. And it's interesting, the Republicans in the Commonwealth and the Republicans in Albemarle County had a window open with Youngkin and Trump. They had a window open. And they couldn't figure out how to take that open window and turn it into something bigger. That window has since closed. And they're not even the wallflowers at prom. When you went to junior and senior prom, you most certainly were in the center of the dance floor. And you most certainly were captivating Judah, everyone's attention, with the head cheerleader on your arm, doing the best dancing possible on your way to prom king. Okay? But we all know at junior and senior prom, there are those individuals that are posted up with their back against the wall as wallflowers. The Republican Party in Virginia and in Albemarle County are not just wallflowers at the prom. They were not even invited to the prom. They're sitting in their parents' basement right now watching YouTube, doom scrolling YouTube. That's where they're at right now. Okay. Next headline, Judah Whitcower, what do you got? Put it on screen. 102 marker on the talk show.
Upside, downside to 191 apartments coming to the Holiday Inn.
All right, you want to who, what, when, where, why me real quick? There's an out-of-market developer that's purchased a Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
That out-of-market developer wants to take the Holiday Inn on Route 29 and convert it to 191 apartments.
Called the Palms.
It's going to be called the Palms, as if we're in Palm Beach or in South Florida.
Yeah.
Okay, this 191 apartments, this developer is not going to change much of the exterior.
Right.
They're only going to do a small pool and some decking around the pool. Mm-hmm. And they want to do that because they want to fast track this project. They also want to keep their cost in line.
Yeah.
They want to take a hotel and make it 191 apartments. The crazy thing is, this is where the development should happen. I'm all for this project being on Route 29, the density, the amenities. This is where the development should happen. I do want to caution or put this on the record. Can you imagine 191 apartments smack dab in the middle of the cock block? Smack dab in the middle of fried chicken alley?
It's a little before the fried chicken.
No way, Judah.
It is.
The fried chicken starts at Chick-fil-A in Barracks Road. The fried chicken starts at Zaxby's on Emmett Street. Okay. And the fried chicken goes to Popeyes, Raising Cane's, and KFC. This is smack dab in the middle of the cock block. This is the cock block. So when you're navigating Route 29, and maybe you're Judah on a Tuesday afternoon when Jerry's got a meeting off-site with some clients, and he doesn't realize that Jerry's got a GPS tracker on his fantastic Ford, and he's watching Judah's red Ford sedan come in and out of Ultimate Bliss while having a stop at Knight Brothers for a hamburger and a couple of cold Budweisers while on the clock. When you're trying to make your way back to the office...
Type of time in the afternoon.
When you're trying to make your way back to the office...
Lunch?
Lunch? On a Tuesday afternoon to beat me back to the shop after I'm leaving my meeting, you're going to have to deal with 191 apartments their residence smack dab in the middle of Raising Cane sauce, Zaxby's, Chick-fil-A, KFC, Popeyes, and the Cock Block. But you're saying I'm reading that wrong? Raising Cane's has to hire a security guy to manage traffic at its location because of its sauce. Am I reading that wrong? Or is the only thing I read wrong that you went to Knight Brothers as opposed to, what's another bar that's over there? I know Ultimate Bliss you patronize. What's another bar that's over there?
I don't know too many bars over there.
Come on. There's an Outback across the way.
Outback Crack House?
There's a Plaza
That's
Azteca
way
over
down
there.
the road.
There's a Plaza Azteca over there.
No, that moved.
Okay. Well, is there no bars there? You're telling me there's no bar? How about the Aberdeen Barn? There you go. Problem is the Aberdeen Barn's not open on a Tuesday afternoon, not till the evening. Kevin Yancey, is it the Holiday Inn on the corner of Hydraulic and Emmett? The Holiday Inn used to be, here's a blast from the past for the viewers and listeners. Neil Williamson, you're absolutely right. I do not get north of Barracks Road. Kevin Yancey, remember when Damon's, the sports bar, was in the Holiday Inn? Do you guys remember when Damon's was there? That was a great sports bar, Damon's. They had the speakers at the table for you to listen to the game of your choice at your own table. I spent many a day at Damon's, ladies and gentlemen. Albert Graves, did you? Conan Owen watching the program. No way they are getting 191 luxury apartments into a 170-room hotel. I think it's a great location for moderate, low-income apartments. How many more pedestrian accidents will we have from people walking to Trader Joe's? The new pedestrian bridge can't come soon enough.
It's in the wrong direction.
Yeah. You want to tell them what you mean by that?
No, the pedestrian bridge is crossing Route 29 on the other side of Hydraulic from the Holiday Inn. So there's really, even if they did get to that bridge, they'd just be crossing away from Stonefield. 191
apartments at that Holiday Inn, to his point, are going to be an extremely tight fit. You can't even do micro apartments because a hotel room is already micro enough.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to see how it happens. I will say this. This is where the development is supposed to happen. And Neil Williamson, you're hearing me right now. I am for this development project. I am for this development project. A hotel conversion. I think it's genius. Next headline, Judah Whitcar. Put the headlines on screen. What do you got?
We've got a fake threat at UVA.
Man, this is such a sad story.
Yeah.
My wife, I was with my wife yesterday when this came in, and when she got the notification on her phone that there was an active shooter on grounds at the University of Virginia, I literally watched her catch her breath. She went, like her breath was taken away from her.
Wow.
She was genuinely scared. And this active shooter threat was a fugazi.
Yeah.
It was like it was a fake, and there was no merit to the threat. But for 2 hours, grounds and students and parents and locals alike were terrorized.
Yeah.
We were frightened because we all know the horrors of active shooter.
Yeah.
It's one of the scariest things in the country now is this active shooter phenomenon where someone's willing to go shoot innocent bystanders and then take their life.
Yeah.
It's the 2025 version of the kamikaze pilot. It's terrifying. Okay? And when we hear the 2025 version of the kamikaze pilot, our breath gets taken away. And I'm going to say this, if they figure out in their investigation who was the impetus of this active shooter, that active shooter impetus should have the book thrown at him or her.
Oh, yeah.
Because this is the low of the low.
Yeah.
The low of the low. Thank God, thank the Lord, God-fearing person, both of us, that this didn't materialize into anything.
Amen.
Next headline, Judah Whitcar, what do you got?
We have Youngkin praising UVA.
Youngkin right now, he don't give a duck. Quack, quack, quack. He's like, dude, I got like 60 days. I got like 60.
He's on the way out.
I'm on my way out. I don't care. It's like, you know what? Youngkin didn't even have to say anything. Youngkin legitimately did not have to say, good job, Donald Trump. Good job, UVA. Good job, Department of Justice. Great job coming to this agreement that eradicates diversity, equity, and inclusion and open up the University of Virginia's books for the DOJ every quarter to audit them, to make sure that they're keeping their word and their promise. Youngkin didn't have to do that. But you know what?
That's true.
Youngkin doesn't care. Dude's on his way out. The only thing left for Youngkin, what's left for Youngkin? Maybe he's scuttlebutted for the Republican nominee. Maybe he's in a brouhaha in a Republican primary. Maybe for president. We're talking president here, right?
Yeah.
I doubt Youngkin thinks U.S. senator. I mean, he's got more money than he knows what to do with. What's Glenn Youngkin's net worth? If I had to put the over/under at $300 million, do I take the over, or do you take the over or younger on over or under younger on $300 million, Judah, for Youngkin's net worth?
I'll go over.
Smart man. According to AI, he's got a net worth of $440 million. Man doesn't need any more money.
Nice.
Doesn't need any more money. Right? So he doesn't give a duck. Quack, quack, quack. He's like, props to Donald. Props to the Board of Visitors. Props to the DOJ. Great agreement. And he's literally doing it at a time when Virginia Democrats, this is fueling their fire and galvanizing the party through infuriation. Virginia Democrats are being galvanized here because Trump is literally infiltrating the Commonwealth in so many different capacities. This isn't about politics. This is reality. The government is on lockdown. Today marks the second longest. No. I think it's a tie for the longest.
What day is it today?
Is it day 35?
Wow.
How long has the government been shut? I think it's day 35. Yeah, 35. The most significant historical shutdown include the 35-day shutdown of 2018-2019.
Wow.
This is 35 days so far. Okay? So here you got a president, and I'm not saying this is tied to the president. I'm not saying this is tied to Republicans. I'm not saying this is tied to Democrats. It is what it is. We have a government that's been shut down for 35 days. Guess what state or commonwealth has a lot of government workers? We have a presidential term that started with Elon Musk and Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency. Guess what state has a lot of government workers? We have a government and a president that is literally going after the University of the Commonwealth, UVA, one of the most premier public universities in the world. Mm-hmm. And then Glenn Youngkin's like, good job. Well done.
It was a fair deal.
It's a fair deal.
He's not entirely wrong.
He's giving the one-finger salute to Virginia Democrats. That's what he's doing right there. And he's doing it because he's on his way out. Virginia Democrats are saying, duck Youngkin. Next headline, what do you got?
Next up, 303 Alderman.
303 Alderman Road. Do you have pictures?
I might.
303 Alderman Road in the Lewis Mountain neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen, is under contract. 303 Alderman Road is under contract. This was the rancher purchased in June of 2024 for $835,000 by builder and developer Evergreen. This home, ladies and gentlemen, is 75 years old. They listed it 30-some days ago for $949,000, and they listed this rancher after having gut the entire house. Because if you remember, they were going to build 6 luxury brownstones on this quarter lot in Lewis Mountain, only to watch connected and Tony and sophisticated and wealthy Lewis Mountonians outcry and outrage against this development and leverage covenants and restrictions from generations ago against Evergreen, who clearly had an attorney that didn't do their title homework when counseling them on this purchase last year. Well, Evergreen is about to have their nightmare go away. Mm-hmm. And this home is now under contract.
I'm surprised they didn't just tear it down, but I guess it's a good thing they didn't.
I mean, clearly now, if it went pending.
Yeah.
$949,000 the asking price. Congratulations to Evergreen.
That's insane.
They are literally about to get out of their nightmare. Next headline, Judah Wickhauer, what do you got?
Vision Barbecue struggling.
I mean, think about this story. Locally owned and operated businesses everywhere are telling us that they are struggling. Locally owned and operated businesses are telling us everywhere. I had a conversation with a very established grocer. Is that what you call somebody who owns grocery stores? A grocer?
Yeah, a grocer.
Is grocer?
Grocer.
Grocer?
Yeah.
Sounds weird. A grocer? Can I just say grocery store magnate? This guy's a grocery store magnate, okay? The grocery store margins have gotten so pitiful because the hourly wages of employees are so high. The shrinkage or theft factor is so significant. The rents so elevated. The budgets of consumers so thin that the margins at these grocery stores are like 1, 2, 3 percentage points right now. He's like, I've never seen headwinds like this in my decades plus of running grocery businesses. Vision Barbecue straight up saying, dude, the cost of beef is doubling.
Yeah, nearly doubled.
He's like, what are we supposed to do with that? We can't take a pork sandwich and charge our customers $29 for it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and you also can't just take the hit for all of it.
Well, I think in a lot of circumstances, they're just barely breaking even to hope the customer stays loyal and consistent.
Yeah.
That's bananas. And that's sad. And that's what's happening right now. Support locally owned and operated. Another fantastic locally owned and operated that you want to support is Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes. Any custom hardscapes that you need should be done by Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes. I know firsthand, guys. Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes, a trusted name in the hardscape game. They will make a dream a reality in your backyard, your front yard, your house. Outdoor kitchen, boom, bang, boom, they can do it. Fire pit, they can do it. Bluestone patio, they can do it. Fantastic area around your swimming pool, they can do it. Oak Valley Custom Hardscapes, fantastic office in the Wells Fargo building in downtown Charlottesville. Judah Wickower, 2 headlines left. Virginia football, Wake Forest, Saturday night, ESPN. The Wahoos is 6.5-point favorite, and Virginia is riding a 7-game winning streak. They are number 11 in one poll, number 12 in the other poll, and a clear path to the ACC championship. It's looking like Tony Elliott's going to be the ACC Coach of the Year. It's looking like Cam Robinson is going to be the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, and it's looking like the Wahoos could be an ACC champion and earn a berth into the college football playoff. This is an incredible outhouse to penthouse, rags to riches story that we should champion and celebrate here in Charlottesville and beyond. And speaking about the Wahoos, how about Ryan Odom getting his first victory last night, Judah Wickower? Ryan Odom gets his first victory, the heir apparent, the obvious apparent, the clear-cut apparent to Tony Bennett, and while getting a victory last night against Ryder and the season opener, Ryan Odom's kid scores points. A bench warmer logs minutes and scores points. And how about local boy that's looking like a superstar, Chance Mallory? Chance Mallory has a zest for life that is contagious and will make this 5'7", 5'8" point guard the most beloved player, not only on this roster, but potentially since what? Kyle Guy? Ty Jerome? Chance Mallory is not just a hometown hero, but he's a starting point guard waiting to happen, a superstar on the near horizon, and clearly the face of Virginia basketball waiting to happen. Judah Wickower was on fire today. My name is Jerry Miller. This is the I Love CVille show.